Well, hey there. We're here for another episode of Just Say Something's weekly podcast. We're grateful that you're here every week. And every week we highlight either a different program at Just Say Something or we talk with one of our partners. And so this week we're going to be talking about one of our programs that we do over in Spartanburg, uh, District 5, and this side of Spartanburg. And so we're talking about our Strengthening Families program. And so we have a coordinator for our SFP over there. And Mike, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So Mike Young is our program manager for SFP in Spartanburg. And so we're going to talk a little bit about um, Spartanburg County and what we're offering over there. So we've started SFP in Spartanburg, partnering with District 5 and Middle Tiger Community Center back in I believe it was 18. And so we have we have a history there. And the way we started at Middle Tiger was when Red Ribbon was real big. They used to order Red Ribbon supplies from us every year. And so it's like, oh, well, let's go over there. So anyway, so tell us a little bit about SFP and what's going on in Spartanburg County with that and the families.
Sure. So a little bit of background about SFP, Strengthening Families Program, is, it's a national program, and ours is supported by Children's Trust of South Carolina. And in District 5 at Middle Tiger Community Center, we have weekly sessions, and it's a 14-week course where starts out with families coming in. They show up around 6. They come on in. We have dinner together. All the families are eating together. It's a nice time. And then they separate into separate classrooms where the children that are ages 6 to 12 go into one room, and then the parents go into another room, and they have conversations about connecting and being good listeners and how to basically be better communicators with their family members. And then we all come back together and we have some sort of activity, and there's prizes that are won. It's a really fun time, and I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing the families light up. Spending time together and visiting each other. They're doing something out of the ordinary, and it just, you could just tell that it's having a positive impact week after week. Just the lightheartedness in the room is really nice.
Yeah, it's if you've never experienced, it's hard to really realize the difference that this particular program is making with our families. So is it so in Spartanburg, we're doing it in English and Spanish.
Yes.
And so how do the families hear about it, and how do they get there?
So typically the families are within very close proximity to District 5 Middle Tiger Community Center. And oftentimes we recruit through the elementary schools. So we'll have like some of the in-house translators talk to the families, because we're doing it with the Spanish speaking families. So they mention the program, and then they sign them up. They get their name, their number, their contact, and we reach out to them. There's a constant communication with these families. That's just how it needs to be done. Just checking in on them and reminding them. But to sign up, yeah, they just hear about it, and we do a good job of explaining it to the point where they feel interested. And we even have waiting lists typically, and it's done in English and in Spanish. Mostly the children's room is kind of code switching. The parents typically have been in Spanish predominantly.
Okay. And so how many families can you accommodate in one cycle of SFP?
12 is pretty much the max. We graduate at a minimum 8. So sometimes we can maybe squeeze in an extra family, but to make it as effective, it needs to be a certain size.
And so for it to be effective, So, from where you sit as the site coordinator, the program manager there, what do you feel makes the most impact on the families?
For me, it's seeing them spend time together that's structured and giving them activities to do and planning, because a lot of the activities are centered around household like chores or dreaming of planning of trip, spending money together, what would they do. So it's a lot of collaborating and just sharing. Like, it's also playtime, right? So they also get to have fun, and we give them games and activities that are like more centered around a little bit of playtime. And I think the connection between the parents and the kids in the room, it carries over, because we've given part of the program is to give incentives, and everybody gets a certain incentive. And we've given these like magnetic rock game where you place them around, and if they connect, you take it. It's this kind of fun game. And other things like painting kits. And we've seen them posting some of these things on their social medias, and they'll share pictures of them when they're in their houses after the class. So you see it carrying forward into their homes. And that feels really good to know that it's actually not just this one time thing. It's becoming more of a, a custom in the household. So I think bringing them together like that has been the most impactful.
I know with the ones that I've seen, it's, especially with the kids, the difference that it's been able to make in them, less referrals, less absenteeism, better behavior overall. That I know we've even had teachers identify kids. Are you going to strengthen families? And the kids like, how do you know? So how can a family sign up?
They can find us on the web. They can go to Just Say Something and find contact information there. Little Tiger, I'm sure, would probably take some contact information from people, but they can email me, Mike at justsaysomethingsc.org. Um, but yeah, we can open up a site in Greenville and Spartanburg if there's different areas too. It just takes a little bit of planning.
Yep. Yep. So you are getting ready to graduate your current cycle when?
Mm-hmm. In 2 weeks. So
Okay.
we're about to do 13th this
All
week.
right. Is there a cost for families to attend?
No, that's the best part. It's very much incentive driven. So I mean, they get gas cards when they come. They get, like I said, prizes and food. So really, it seems like families come knowing that they're not going to have to make dinner that night. So that's exciting. Like that's something. It's a break from the norm, and they get to be fed, and everybody's just happy. It's an activity. So yeah, that's no cost, and if anything, just all benefit.
Okay. All right. Cool. So if you had to leave our listeners with one tidbit of information about SFP, what would that be?
That everybody can benefit from it. I've benefited from it being a coordinator and a facilitator, and it's for everyone because it reminds you of the things you kind of take for granted when you communicate with your family. Little things to keep, like how many things to list when you're giving somebody directions, something like that, like something you don't think about just off the top of your head. So I just say that it applies to anybody, no matter how structured your household is or not. It's just good benefit.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mike. We appreciate you talking about our Strengthening Families program over in Spartanburg. We do have it available in Greenville and in Spartanburg counties. It's available in English and Spanish. So never fear. We have it available for just about everyone. And you can find more information under programs at justsaysomethingsc.org. Or you can give us a call at the office, 864-467-4099. All right. Well, that does it for another week. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And I will talk to y'all, see y'all next time. Thanks.